exercise, do something good. And of course, along with that, it's also important to eat right. Some of us don't realize how important our digestive system is to our overall health. And just by eating maybe some simple foods, we can all be regular. Dr. Suneil Jain is joining us this morning to give us some tips on that. Thank you for being here, Dr. Jain.
Well, thank you for having me.
You know, we try to eat clean, we try to eat well, but that doesn't always happen with our lifestyles, right?
Yeah, you know, modern lifestyle is very crazy because you're always on the go, and if you don't plan ahead, it's easily get in trouble with eating the wrong foods.
So what's your suggestion on keeping us, you know, is there things we can add to our diets to help our digestive systems?
Well, generally speaking, you want to eat as much fresh fruit and vegetables, mainly vegetables, as much as possible.
Okay.
And if you're doing that, you're doing yourself a great benefit. You got to remember that a majority, about 80% of your immune system is found in your digestive tract.
Oh, really?
As well as about 80 to 90% of your serotonin receptors.
Okay.
So these are the neurotransmitters that help you make a good mood and make you feel balanced, as well as making sure your immune system stays strong. So if you're eating the right foods, you're nourishing that part of your body and providing it with best possible defense.
And our digestive system really affects everything else that's going on in our bodies and making it work in sync.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. If your digestive system is not functioning properly, then it's very hard for you to feel good, and it's very hard for your immune system to function optimally.
Can it lead to other bigger problems in your bodies?
Oh, absolutely. Like a lot of symptoms that we take for granted, such as gas and bloating, constipation, loose stools, heartburn, reflux, these are all signs of GI dysfunction, and if they're not corrected at its root source, then the problems keep perpetuating, and they kind of manifest in other ways then.
And that's interesting you bring up those symptoms, because I think a lot of people just see it as, well, that's normal life. You know, yeah, when I eat this, this happens. It's just how it should be, but it really shouldn't.
Oh, absolutely. It's a telltale sign. You know, body's trying to give you a warning signal that something's not right. We just tend to ignore it and, you know, kind of brush it under the carpet. But you got to pay attention to these, because especially when they're chronic symptoms that occur frequently, it's very, very important to address those. Otherwise, they do manifest in other ways down the road. Okay,
you brought a few things here specifically that you want to mention.
I did. They all look, may not be so appealing, but they're all
let me tell you, this looks amazing. The asparagus looks amazing. Don't really want to eat a whole onion, but...
Right. So we've got foods that are both pre and probiotics.
Okay.
Prebiotics are basically foods that help fuel that friendly bacteria that's in our gastrointestinal tract. We've got about 1 to 500 trillion bacteria that colonize the inside of our GI system. We have more bacteria than we have total cells in our body.
Wow.
And we're now linking that bacteria with different dysfunctions in that bacteria with different ailments, from obesity to heart disease, autoimmune disease, cancer. So it's really, really important to have a very good foundation there. So these are foods like onions and asparagus, artichoke, that help, mung beans, that help to feed that the good bacteria. And then you've actually got foods that deliver those bacteria, such as ginger, garlic, sauerkraut. We've got some coconut kefir here.
What is coconut kefir?
So coconut kefir is basically just...
coconut milk. Okay.
Right. Well, it's coconut milk, but it contains those friendly bacteria,
okay.
Probiotics. So it's a way to get these friendly bacteria into the system from a food source.
What is this?
And we got some miso soup here.
Oh, miso soup. Okay.
So when you have fermented soy, you are potentizing the bacteria that's in the food, and it's just nourishing to the system.
There's a lot of information out there about probiotics and adding it into your diet. Do you suggest people do that, or at least when we're not feeling well and we've got issues?
You know, it's always good to get it from the food.
Okay.
But if your diet is lacking in any of these foods that I'm talking about, then yeah, it does make sense to supplement with it. But you have to remember that there's no substitute from the food. So,
all right.
But yeah, it's something that's getting a lot more common and popular, especially people who've been taking a course of antibiotics. You have to also realize that a lot of our meat nowadays, the animals have been fed a lot of these antibiotics to make up for some of the inhumane conditions that they're staying in. So when you're ingesting that food, you're also taking in those antibiotics without even realizing it.
When is it an issue that you need to get help, professional help?
Well, I think any type of a problem that turns chronic, it's always best to seek medical help for that. But these are just tips to do kind of on a daily basis to help, you know, just keep the body balanced as much as possible. Obviously, any problem that persists for any period of time needs to be checked out by a qualified health professional. All
right. Dr. Jain, we always appreciate your great advice.
Thank you.
Folks want to get a hold of you, how can they do that?
We're available on our website and at the office, werejuvenate.com.
All right. We'll put it all on azfamily.com to make it easy for you. Thank you so much.